going to look like in the astral plane. Welcome to Sunday, July 18th, 2021. And this is a frequent question that I see not only in the subreddit, but also on my channel. Now, as I get into this this morning, I would like you to keep in mind that you may see and experience things in a different way than I have. In fact, I believe each experience definitely is unique, depending on the person. So, this is my experience of the astral plane. And one of the things, one of the biggest misconceptions that I believe, especially for those who haven't actually astral projected yet, is that when you leave your body, when you're out there, things are going to look exactly the same as they look when you are in your body. So you'll be out there, and if you're in your apartment or if you're in the hallway, or if you're outside, things are going to match. It's going to match exactly the way they look when you're in your body. Now, some that have already left their body may have this experience, but this has never been my experience when I've been out there. I should say that certain parts of wherever you are, your apartment, your house, whatever, they're going to look like your place. Things are going to look similar, but there are also going to be things that are going to be completely different, or that are going to look different. I'll give you a quick example that I believe I've given on this channel before. A long time ago, I left my body, and I remember I was in my place. I was looking out my patio, and what I saw just beyond my patio was an ocean that stretched on into the horizon. And it was an ocean that should not have been where it was, actually. What I should have seen was the apartment across from me, or the building across from me, not an ocean. But that is what I saw. So you have my place, right? Everything looks just like my place. But when I look out the patio, things look completely different. There's an ocean that should not be there in that place. On another occasion, I went and I was looking above my building from the rooftop, and beyond the rooftop, I could see the roof repeated over and over again and stretching on again into the horizon, as if it had been copied and had been, stretched into infinity, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I saw. And again, that should not have been. Beyond the rooftop, there should have been streets and other types of things, cars, other houses, other buildings, but that's not what I experienced in that moment. And each time I have come out of my body and been in my apartment, things have looked different. My apartment might look more expanded in some way, or it might look smaller in some way. Things might look rearranged. Another thing that people talk about is seeing their body. This is another very interesting thing. Everyone thinks that they're supposed to see their body when they're in the astral plane, when in fact, I have very rarely seen my body. Very, very rarely. I'm not sure why that is, but that is the case for me, is that I have rarely seen that. So, keeping these things in mind, it's important that before you leave your body, and I've talked about this before, that you put all expectations aside. Anything that you read, again, reading things going on subreddit, reading people's experiences, I think are valuable. They can inspire you, and who knows, you may see things in a similar way at times, but it is important not to allow another person's experience to define yours. Your experience is going to be unique, I believe. So let's say you wanted to visit another country, perhaps a country that you haven't been to. I've traveled quite frequently. I've been to over 16 countries in the 3D world, but some folks haven't really traveled much and want to see other parts of the world. Another question that I have seen is, let's say I want to go to another country, another place. Let's say I want to go to Europe or to South America or wherever. And I go there. Are things going to look like they look in the 3D world? In other words, will I be able to kind of go around? Let's say you go to a place like Australia. Will you be able to see the Opera House? And will you be able to just kind of hang out and see other types of things in Sydney? Will you be able to go to Paris and check out the Eiffel Tower? Things like that. Well, this is kind of my answer to this. My belief is that what you're going to see is something similar to what you may believe Paris or, South America or wherever you end up going. You're going to see something similar to what you would expect to see, but there are going to be different things added on. Again, when we're walking around in our bodies, there is so much that we don't see. We are perceiving things in our world, but there are so many things that are invisible to us. So let's take, someplace like, I don't know, Paris, France. And let's say you went to Paris, France, and you decided you wanted to visit the Eiffel Tower. You could be there in moments. It could be a thought away. When you astral project, you could think, I want to be in Paris and standing near the Eiffel Tower, and you would be there. What would you see? Well, I haven't done it, but my theory is that you will see parts of the Eiffel Tower. You will see parts of that section of Paris. You may also actually see people. But in the middle of that area, you might also see a forest that does not exist or you do not see when you are in the 3D world walking around in a body. It does exist, I should say. I should correct that. This forest does exist, but you are unable to perceive it when you're in your body. When you go out into the astral plane, you can see this forest. And perhaps this forest is populated with beings of light that are moving around and things like that. So you will see the forest merged into this area, and you might see other things merged into this area. You might also see an ocean in that same space with mystical beings, right? And you might see another city also merged into that. So it might look a bit confusing to you because you're looking around and you're thinking, wow, I can see the Eiffel Tower, but I see all of these other things added on. Again, when we're in the 3D world, we filter out so much, and there's so much that we don't see. And there's a good reason for this. I mean, when we're in the 3D world and we're walking around, we're there's a purpose involved, whether we're going somewhere, whether we're working at a specific job. Perhaps you were going to work, you are studying in school, whatever. These things you're focused on, and you're filtering out everything else. And that's usually how it works in this world. But again, there is so much more that is going on out there, so much that you can't see. And in the astral plane, generally, you're probably going to see a lot of what you don't see in this world, what is invisible to you. Thank you so much for coming on another journey with me. And until next time, take care.